Hello everyone. Today's topic is how to write Organon exam. The students who are writing exam for the first time are facing a lot of anxiety, a lot of confusion. Till today when they were sitting in the class, they would feel that yes, they understood everything, they know everything, they can write everything, they felt confident. But now, as the exam is nearing, the problem is they are thinking they don't know anything. That is creating low confidence. So how to write the exam is a big question. So today we will make it very easy and I will tell you how to write the Organon exam without any tension, without any anxiety, with good confidence, right? I'll take an example of one per question paper. Then I will start explaining you people. And if you think you have any questions to be discussed, you can tell me. Then we will conduct a Zoom meeting where we will be discussing how to write those exams. Okay? And first and foremost thing we will have to remember when you are reading Organon, why you feel that inconfident, because your brain does not perceive it that easily, because whatever is been written in Organon of medicine or in philosophy, everything is dating 200 years back. None of the books are recent books. Okay, so all Kent, Hahnemann, Stuart Close, all these books have been written 200 years back, and your philosophy of today's medicine will not match with the philosophy of the 200 years back medicine. Your brain is not able to accept certain facts. Hence, it becomes difficult for you how to represent in the exam. You may have to by heart or certain things, like as soon as you read, you will not be able to comprehend and produce it. So, but always you should remember that when you are reading it, plan it that yes, this was happening then, and now what is happening. Okay, so like that, if you accept yours, it becomes very easy to you to understand and represent it in the paper. Okay, first thing is that. Next is already you have attended classes and you have studied till today. So naturally, brain already knows everything, but it is only thing how to put it into a proper format. That is what is very important. For there, you will be feeling bit inconfident, and this happens with everybody. Absolutely, don't worry about it, and go ahead with the exams, and it will be definitely very good. And all the teachers are meant to help you people. No one wants to deliberately fail you people, and a teacher or a evaluator wants to know whether the student has proper concept about homeopathy or no. Whatever we have taught you people and what actually is in the system, whether you have understood that, comprehended it correctly or no, that is what is a matter. Okay, so 50% also, if we get confidence that you have comprehended, then there won't be any problem. Okay, so let us move to the question paper. We will solve a question paper from Rajiv Gandhi Universities of Health Sciences. As soon as you see the question paper, don't get afraid. Read the instructions properly, and your plan should be to attempt all 100 marks completely. What happens is usually students think that I have written 65 marks perfectly, so I will get that much. No, don't do that. Try to answer all the questions, whether you know the answer, you don't know the answer, you know it very well. That everything is interconnected till today. Whatever you have studied is interconnected, and you will be able to write. Just think that you are going to obtain 50% of marks by attempting 100 marks. Why? Because you think that you are perfect, but actually your thought should match with the evaluator's thought also. So that might not be possible. So please attempt all the questions. Write the answers where exactly questions numbers have been put, and always it's a golden rule that attempt the answers which you know first. Okay. And now while sitting, you please plan out the timings. How much of time you are going to give for 10 marks questions. You have two 10 marks questions, 10 5 marks questions, and you have 10 3 marks questions, right? So it is you, only you, who has to plan your answer paper, how much time you are going to give for 10 marks, 5 marks, and 3 marks. One more tricky thing what happens in Organon exam is sometimes the same question you have studied for 10 marks is asked for 3 marks. Now you don't have to go on because you know so much about it. You are not supposed to write everything about that answer. For example, vital force, if they ask, they can ask it for 10 marks also, they can ask it for 5 marks also, and they can ask it for 3 marks also. So it is now your intelligence how you are going to drag the answer for 10 marks and how you are going to concise the answer for 3 marks. Okay, this is the only thing, and absolutely Organon exam is going to be very very easy. Once you understand how to represent it, then you don't have to worry about it at all. So now let us move to the presentation during examination. So I will try to write over here. This is for the first time I am writing, otherwise usually I present PPT. So please manage with the handwriting. So first question is logic, its types, and explain the inductive logic. Okay. So we are answering the question for 10 marks. Logic for 10 marks, right? So they have asked you what is logic. Already you know, you have to define what is logic. Logic is a science of reasoning. This much is enough. Now you have to write the types, right? You have inductive logic and you have deductive logic, right? We have inductive logic as well as we have deductive logic. Then you will have to explain inductive logic and give example, explain deductive logic and give example. And now important thing is they have asked you so much, but you have to tell the applied aspect of logic also. Okay. So now how are you using this logic in homeopathy? Right? So this is what is very very important. So this also you will have to plan it out. You know it very well that from starting you find that there is application of inductive logic in homeopathy. So start with the discovery of homeopathy. You find everywhere there is a logic applied, right? Discovery of homeopathy. And then you come down to after discovery, then you take the drug proving where there also till starting from that point till the materia medica formation also he has used inductive logic. Then in your practice you have case taking, right? What are you doing here? Again you are applying logic continuously. Then you are supposed to come to diagnosis. Here also you are using the inductive logic as well as deductive logic, right? Because you do differential diagnosis over here. And then you come down to remedial diagnosis. What do you do? Remedial diagnosis is you have come to conclusion of so many remedies after repertorizing, but you go on deducting the remedies based on the eliminating symptom, right? In our syllabus, logic chapter has been explained extensively by Stuart Close. That also you will have to mention. It is better if you mention. And then now second question is what happens when two dissimilar diseases meet in the body for 10 marks. Sometimes they ask this question for 5 marks also. So now you know these aphorisms. It starts from 36, but the introduction to this starts from 35th aphorism till 41 aphorism, right? So this you will have to mention, and then you have to write three propositions what happens when two dissimilar diseases meet in the body. Okay, so you know what happens when earlier is stronger, then here it doesn't allow the new one to come. If the latter is stronger, it suppresses and runs its course. And then third one is formation of complex disease. When for long they run together in the body, they find the affinity for the each organ and then they settle in the body. Okay, now this is when you have been asked for 5 marks. Now they have asked you this question for 10 marks. So how are you going to do is you are going to write every time the aphorism number, and then you are going to tell that this is mentioned by Hahnemann in his 6th edition of Organon of Medicine in such and such aphorism. Then you are going to mention that 36 aphorism, 37 aphorism. So 36th aphorism explains what happens when two dissimilar diseases meet in the body when the former one is stronger. And then for the same thing they give examples also. So you mention at least 3 examples for each, and then in 37 aphorism dissimilar disease is a artificial disease, that is allopathic medication they talk about. So please mention this also. So exactly same you are doing here for 38 and 39 and 40 and 41, right? So this is how you will have to answer for 10 marks question. It becomes very difficult for you to remember those examples because again as I said they are 200 years back what was happening, those things have been written there. But what you have to do is you just have to mug up those things and write it. Next question is for 5 marks which can be asked for 10 marks also. Quote the first aphorism and explain its essence. And statement is, as already while teaching, I have taught you people that it is very important that you people must know. Stating means it should be definitely a statement. There shouldn't be any difference what Hahnemann has written and what you are telling, right? Statement is statement only. Okay. Physician's high and only mission is to restore the sick to health to cure as it is termed. And now you already know that you have to write the essence of it. It has been asked for 5 marks. When you go to the YouTube and see for first aphorism, it is too big. But if you are perfect with first aphorism, you can answer maximum answers. Okay, but while going through, you go through properly through the first time YouTube, Edge Campus, everything about homeopathy. This will give you idea about those aphorisms. So first few aphorisms, if you go through, any answer you can write. In Organon of medicine paper, you will have to do the combination and permutations of the same matter, and you will have to form the answers, right? So please go through them properly. Whenever you're just sitting or when you're lying down, just listen to these things. Okay. It has been asked for 5 marks. In the first aphorism that I have explained it in very elaborately. So what you will have to do is you have to concise it for 5 marks depending upon your time. So now let us go to next question. State the doctrine of drug proving and explain its importance. Aphorism 105 to 145 speaks about drug proving. What is drug proving? Why drug proving was required? And already in third aphorism, where in case of knowledge of medicine, we explained there in YouTube regarding human proving and animal proving, its advantages and disadvantages. You don't have to write for 5 marks. And then let us go to next question. This is fundamentals of psychoanalytic theory. These questions of psychology are very direct questions. Here you won't find any confusion to write. Now describe about conditional and unconditional forces. What do you mean by conditional and unconditional forces, and where Hahnemann has mentioned about it? First, always when a question comes, you will have to think of or where it is being mentioned, right? So conditional and unconditional, we find them in a 31st aphorism, where Hahnemann would like to tell that medicinal force is unconditional, disease force is conditional. Okay, so already we have discussed, if at all medicine is unconditional, where you are going to use this energy, how this energy is going to help us out. Okay, so as I already told you, this is because it is unconditional, it acts only in few circumstances and on few men and few times, whereas unconditional acts in all circumstances, all men and all the times, right? As medicines are unconditional, they can be used to treat the diseases, because that control of medicine is in our hand. Every time please see to it that where it is used, why are we studying this, the concept should be very clear. Why are you reading this, or why are we asking this question to you? Okay, and that makes your answer perfect. Describe Hahnemann's pathological consideration of diseases. So it's very important. Now you get what is Hahnemann's pathology. Always remember that in homeopathy, when we say that it is pathology, when we call pathology, it is always a dynamic pathology. You all know health, disease, cure and recovery. Also you know vital force. So as I already told you that if you know first 25 aphorism perfect, then you know everything. Okay, means you can make up. It's not that you know everything for the practical aspect, but to make up the exam, to write the answers, you know so many points over here. Okay, so Hahnemann, where does he mention regarding pathology is? It is in his 9th aphorism. So now next question is, define record keeping, list its benefits. Record keeping, actually see the question has come now from the philosophy. Record keeping is being mentioned by both Herbert Roberts and Kent. Okay, so but now you should know what is concept of record keeping. So when a patient comes to you, whatever symptoms are narrated by the patient are being recorded in a paper. Okay, this and that is being properly maintained. What is record keeping? So why it is important? In homeopathy, we have a lot of importance because we usually deal with the chronic cases. When you are dealing with the chronic cases, You need to know what you have given last time, why you have given last time, and how is the follow up now, whether this, how is the frequency and how is the severity. Everything we will come to know only if we keep the record properly. And also, for the, if at all any case undergoes any problem, then if they ask, then you will have to produce the case paper. That is also to know the diagnosis. If your patient goes from here to somewhere and he needs the case paper, he needs to know, or else you want you to shift his paper to some other doctor. So as to help the patient, you need to keep the record. And there are many other points also, as I told you, how to write. So please go through. Differentiate between cure and recovery. This has been mentioned in Stuart Close, and this is a direct question. You will have to make cure and recovery, and you will have to write the answer. This is for 5 marks. So trinity of the individual again been mentioned by Herbert Roberts: mind, body and spirit. This is also a direct question where this has been taken by Herbert Roberts. Describe the method of case taking in epidemic and sporadic diseases. This is again very very important, that they have mentioned specifically that you are supposed to go for only epidemic diseases and the sporadic diseases, and how the case taking is being done. Okay, here you are going to use inductive logic. Hahnemann mentions case taking from 83 to 104 aphorisms. Also, he mentions how to take care of sporadic and epidemic diseases and how to treat them. Again, this is a practical aspect. When a cases, when you stay in an epidemic area or when you stay in the area where sporadic cases are coming, how to treat those things. All those management skills are. This is also a direct question, and you can answer it without any hesitation. Now let us go to some of the 3 marks questions. Okay, here I will go to tricky questions, not the direct questions in 3 marks question answers. Describe use of issues and set-ons. So first you should know what do you mean by issues and set-ons. Okay. So this is again, as I told you, 200 years back, Hahnemann is talking about the types of treatment which was being given during those days. In today's scenario, they don't have any use. These are all imaginary treatments what they were giving. So again, I would like to tell you to go through first aphorism. There it is been mentioned what they were doing in issues and set-ons, how they would treat, and apply your logic and think whether is there any use in today's scenario. Okay, now you know that there is no use of issues and set-ons. Accessory symptoms is a direct question. What is rational medicine? Okay, rational medicine means a medicine which has its basis on logic. Okay, rational means logic. Homeopathy is a logical system of medicine. Hahnemann's first edition of Organon of Medicine what mentioned? Organon of rational art of healing. But later on, he skipped the rational in it. Why? Because during those days, they were calling allopathy as a rational system of medicine. So they thought one more system of allopathy itself came into existence. Hence, he dropped the rational. But whereas most rational system of medicine is homeopathy itself. Describe the procedure of case taking in hypochondriac patients. This is also mentioned when he explains about different types of patients. One more thing here is expectant treatment. Expectant treatment. This has been mentioned by Stuart Close. Define allopathy and homeopathy. You can do it. Issues on set-ons was the only thing which was a tricky question. Rest all questions are direct questions and you can answer those questions. All the best for the examination. And if you think you have any questions, any doubts, any problems, you can please put them into comment box so that I'll definitely answer those things. How to form that answer to the particular question, or where the answer is found for these questions also can be asked. I will try to explain those things as fast as possible, and please see to it that you are all confident and write absolutely not to lose the confidence. Thank you once.